What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. So as you can clearly see, I'm still in my hotel room here in China. I have not managed to go outside for too long. I think I went out for about an hour today and that was enough for my lower back. So yeah, I'm back in the hotel room. So what am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? Because I'm halfway through an investigation. That video's not ready. I can't really go to YouTube and like, shit on other random people's videos because, well, that costs a lot of data and I don't want to do that every goddamn day. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do what every old freaking man does when he's got a bunch of youngins sitting in front of him forced to listen to him. I'm going to share a story from my glory days. A story that you will either love, you'll feel extreme sympathy for, or you will absolutely hate me for. I don't care, but it will fill up the time and allow me to get my YouTube video out. So what I'm going to talk about is a story from when I was a young, starry-eyed Esperanto speaker with a full head of hair. I think I still had hair at that point. I don't know. I need to go back through my YouTube history. But anyway, what happened was that there was basically a camp trip organized for Esperanto speakers in Sydney. And what happened was a bunch of Esperanto speakers here. We had various ages, quite old, young, middle-aged, all in between basically. We decided to travel to some pretty remote area, stay at one of the Esperanto speakers' houses, and have like a camping trip, basically for a weekend type of thing. The idea was that you would be hanging around with a bunch of other Esperanto speakers, we'd be able to practice the language, we'll have some guns, Jesus, we'd have some games together, just have a good time, no guns involved, don't worry about that, guys. But basically, some chaos happened during this trip. See, I have a friend who's an Esperanto speaker, and I've known since as long as I've spoken Esperanto. And me and him get up to a lot of shenanigans. In fact, they have gotten us into trouble multiple times throughout the years. But one of the things we like to do is just kind of, well, we did like to do. See, now he's like this soft vegan type of guy who doesn't do this stuff anymore. So I need to harden him up again. But back then, he was hardcore, man. We would get into random battles where we would just try to clobber each other in the balls. I don't know why, we just did it. We would just go for the action, We'd just be like, boom, take him out type of thing. But we never got each other. There was never a success. There was a couple of like numb legs, sore knees, sore ribs and stuff. But we never successfully managed to hit each other in the balls. Until one day. Okay, so this is what happened. On that trip, here we were playing some Esperanto games and it was getting dark and we decided to play Murder in the Dark, okay? Now, for those who don't know this game, basically what happens is a bunch of people go into a room, you hide, and then one person acts as the murderer, walks around, as he finds people, he murders them, and then you need to be the survivor at the end. So, I was one of the survivors, and my mate, Kaya, he was one of the he was the murderer, not one, there was only one. So he was the murderer. So I went into this room, I'm looking around, okay, I go hide under this table, and I'm like, yeah, man, I got the best spot right here. He's totally not going to see me right here. I don't know why I just choked on my goddamn throat then. But like, I was hiding under this table, and some like young girl was hiding under this table next to me. When I say young, she was like, I don't know, must have been like 8 years old, but she was also an Esperanto speaker. We're all Esperanto speakers here, all pacifists, loved each other type of thing. So I'm sitting here under this table, and my mate Kai comes in the darkness, and I can see him, I've got the freaking night vision eyes going on. I'm watching him looking around, opening up cupboards, trying to find the people, that he's got to murder. And then he walks right up to the table, and his crutch is like right here in front of my face, okay? Because I'm under this table all like hunched over type thing, and he's sitting here, and he's almost gyrating in my goddamn face. So I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was trying to open something above the table, but his crutch was like woof, woof, and I was like, bloody hell, get out of my face. I don't know what happened, but in a moment of an insanity, okay, with this little girl right next to me, I just built up the biggest power fist I could and went woof. And let's just say it was the ultimate of nutshots. This guy went down like a ton of bricks, screaming like the girl next to me who was in shock, okay? She was just like, oh. And Kai was like, nah, on the ground type of thing. Let's just say the adults in the room, which technically was me and Kaya, but like the other more adulty adults, they turned on the lights and were like, what happened? They thought someone must have stepped on a knife or something. And they see Kaya like huddled up on the floor going, nah, nah, in pain type of thing. And I'm just sitting under this table like, shit, how do I explain this? Like, that was a shot for the ages, man. Like, that was the type of thing that takes out freaking empires. Let's just say, maybe that's why he became vegan many years later. Maybe I desexed him. No, I'm just joking. I'm not saying all vegans are desexed or anything, but like, oh god, I'm digging a hole. But anyway, the point being is that, He wanted revenge, okay? Which is a natural thing to want when you fully start recovering and able to walk again and not like a penguin. So, unfortunately for me, and well, not so for him, but we were doing a sleepover in this person's house, and I was on the couch, and right next to me on the floor was his planned bed location. So I'm laying down on this couch. I'm looking over at him, he's looking up at me, and we're just staring at each other like midnight, man. I know what's coming. He's waiting for me to blink so he can take his shot. So I'm laying there going, fuck, what am I going to do? I need to be able to survive this night. This is like the ultimate language learning experience, okay? So I'm looking around thinking, I gotta protect myself because at some point I'm gonna pass out. And I know he ain't gonna pass out because revenge is on his mind. Blood is what he seeks. The balls of the god he wants to take out. So I'm sitting here and I start reaching along quietly in the cupboards next to me where I am on the sofa. And I pull out this random Esperanto book. For all I know, it could have been the Nuevo Libro de Esperanto. And I shoved that shit down in my pants. I was creating a fucking battle armor. I was prepared for this stuff. And I was just grabbing books and shoving them in there, like quietly, of course, because I didn't want Kai, who was just sitting there staring up at my shadow in the darkness, to know what I was doing. And as I felt a little bit safe, I started to fade away. Slowly my eyes started to close, and then as soon as they finally closed, woof! Like a fucking thunder, I shit you not, this guy's fist came in and he smashed those books so hard. Now naturally, I was shocked, okay, because like that, the impact was enough, but I was protected via the armor. But I had to let him believe that he took the shot, that he got the shot. Otherwise, it'd just come again. So I was like, the pain, oh, you got me good, type of thing. And like, I was rolling around, I could see in his eyes, like, the revenge had been, like, fed. Like, he was happy, at least at this moment. But me being the Evildea that I am, the next day I was like, like smiling and laughing at him. He's like, what's up? Why are you smiling, huh? What's going on? I was like, you only took out Zamenhof. You didn't get me. I was wearing books in my pants, my bro. That was the worst mistake. I don't know why I did that. But like, for the next 10 plus years, this dude, every time we would stand next to each other, it was just like instinctive. He would just try clobber me. Like, he must have dead-legged me like 5 or 6 times over the years, but he's never got that shot. And I've survived until this day. And thank God he became a vegan several years ago, because I keep reminding him about the fact that he can't harm animals anymore. Yes, I'm willing to call myself an animal. Like, you can't harm me, bro. You can't have that final revenge. I know you want it. But I think deep down, he would harm at least one animal to take me out. Okay. So basically, that's the story. I figured I'd share that with you guys, because fuck, what else am I going to do? I'm a goddamn hotel room. I'm a freaking gimp over here. Like, what can I do? So yeah, yep, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the story. See you all in the next video. If not, peace out. I will find you and clobber you.